What I'm going to demonstrate now is small blade work from Shastarvidiya, Sanatan Shastarvidiya. Sanatan Shastarvidiya is a traditional North Indian martial art. Now, whereas Salibam, Kalari, etc. is well known in the West, but this North Indian art hitherto has remained hidden, concealed, and secretive. Once you see the techniques and the brutality behind them and the science behind them, you appreciate why this has remained a Gupta, hidden, a secret art. Many people mistake Gataka as being the traditional fighting art of the Sikhs, but that is a mistake, big, big mistake. What we're going to demonstrate today is how to, just the basics. Like I said, this is not meant to be instructional video. It's not meant also what's called, you can learn from it. It's just to give an insight, especially to those advanced martial artists, Filipino martial arts, etc., and Japanese, Chinese arts. So they can see that what the Indian counterparts, how they fight, and how they traditionally engaged with edge weapons, etc. So we'll look at the most famous, one of the most famous Indian weapons, short bladed weapons that has found its way to the West, mainly because of the brave Gurkhas from Nepal. And that weapon is the kukri. And the kukri, historically, it is said, he went from India to Persia to Greece. So when Alexander the Great came back, he brought the same blade form shapes back to India. So there's a big dispute whether the original kukri was actually left over by the Greeks, or as many believe also, that it was developed indigenously in Nepal itself. But this weapon kukri itself has now found its way throughout all India. In the Punjab, we make slight adjustments to it to make it more personal to us Punjabis. So let's look at some traditional kukris first. So we have such as these here. These are actual baffle kukris. So it's held, many people hold it like this. Well, amongst the Punjabis, in Shastra, we always put the thumb here to give the extra pull, power, and so on. This portion of the blade is called a pipla, which is a particular type of, it's like a fig tree. And so it's like shaped like a leaf of a fig tree, so it's called pipla. And it's just good for stabbing. And as we stick in, we make a hole in there, etc. This heavy portion, for hacking, decapitating, taking limbs off, etc., is known as a bans. This here, which is from a practical point of view, it is a blood drip. But symbolically, it represents the phallus of Shiva, the Shiva Lingam. The Nepalese, traditionally, Northern Indians, and same as like us as well, we are great devotees of Shiva. Shiva is seen as the primordial grand master of the fighting arts. So what we have here now is a representative of Shivling, but its practicality is a blood drip. Amongst us in Punjab, what we tend to do is, we tend to put our finger here, which is called the Vishnu finger, and then what will happen is the blood comes down, the blood will run along the finger, and then we will use this to flick into any oncoming opponent's eyes, etc. as well. Like the blood itself becomes a weapon. So let us demonstrate, and then these kukris. Now these are traditional kukris from Nepal, battlefield ones. The Punjabi version of it ends up like this. The blades claim the Punjabi weaponship in terms of meteorology was superior. So the weapons came a bit superior quality in terms of blade and so on. And then what we also have now is we put a Mughal-style Punjabi hilt onto it. This allows us to now get in close quarter combat, engage head-on. Whereas the traditional Afghan method is to dash in from behind the bush or tree and so on, chop the head off and run it back into the bushes. This kind of kukri is more designed for getting into a close melee and hacking through limbs, hands, heads and so on. And again, form and shape basically same, only distinction is just the hilt. That's it. Now, how do we employ these weapons? I'll use these weapons here. So our opponent, we'll give him a larger kukri. Size doesn't really matter in Shastarvidiya. So watch. Now, many people think, well, he wields it fast, hard, and so on. Again, I'm not going to be wielding fast. I'm just going to wait for him to hit the right striking range, calculate, anticipate his angle of strike, trajectory of weapon, compensate for the speed of his weapon as well, and anticipate where he's going to hit. Then I'm going to cut in, misalign his strike, then cut into his body further to structurally misalign him, and then I cut him down. The only distinction between a stick and an edged weapon is edged weapons are far more, I can say, dexterous. I can switch with these a lot quicker than I can do with a stick. And the distinction here is whereas an edged weapon, by just touching and cut in and so on. Whereas a stick, you can touch, you can even grab, and even if it's like a soft hit, you can take with a stick. With these, not so like. These will cut through. This is, in pound for pound, in terms of weapon, this is one of the best there is. It has been known to deliver blows hard down top of the skull, and you can cleave the person's head in half and all the way down to his midway through his chest. It is one of the best weapon designs you can think of. For close quarter, there's not much. There's weapons like traditional other weapons like piercing from Afghan origin. This is phenomenal for piercing armor and chainmail. And the Punjabi favorite, you have katars, punch daggers. These I'll show some other time how to use. Let's look at the kukri now. So that's the opponent. That's the opponent comes. Move my head. See, I'm only going through like here. He wants to get in, but I'll move in. Move. I see. Watch. I can make it so. Okay. Now, this kind of stuff is meant to be quick, fast, efficient. The camera is not quick enough to catch all the angles, the subtleties in what we're displaying. So for instance, if my aim is just to kill him, that's it. As soon as I see him, he comes at me, I'll step in, that's it. I'm going bang, that's it. So the outside, it just looks like, oh, he's just walking in and he's hitting him. The outside, it looks like, oh, he's just stopping by himself. But what the outside is not realizing is, as soon as I hit that striking range, I'm taking into account the angle of attack, taking into account speed of attack, taking into account trajectory of weapon, where it's going to hit me, and then I cut in, misalign his strikes, then cut into him further, stepping in further, I structurally misalign him, and apart from that, there's a lot of other little things I'm doing as well, like from the way I'm positioning my feet, etc., and so on, and how much marma or vital points I'm showing to him. I'm deliberately narrowing down his options. I'm taking away his options. I'm saying to him, only this portion here, as he comes strike, that's only available, hit or strike here only. He can only strike what I present to him. So I use that as well. I use that to my advantage. So I present certain things to him, certain things I don't present, and then this art is intellectual. It's like chess. In the traditional game of it's called developing the mind, is chess, shatranj. So we're like a chess player. So as he comes in now, moves in here, I will not look fancy. In fact, I will look the most boring fighter there is on planet Earth. Like. I won't even look at him as he comes to strike. Well, I'm looking at him. I'm using here. I'm using trajectory. But yet, what I'm doing, look over here. Now, I've got the blade here. I'm not going for the limb here. If I went for the limb there, he can notice that and he can pull back and draw his other hand there. By doing this, what I'm doing is I'm intercepting like an ambush. So if he thrusts at my body, whatever, he's going to catch it. At the same time, if the other hand comes in, I'll just flick it there. The heart is there. I'll hit the heart and I'll tear down. Tear down is a rota, stomach, and that's it. Go to prison for a long time for this. So watch. It's coming in. Look how relaxed I am. I'm so relaxed, I can drink my tea. Like. So it comes in. There he goes. Oh, I'm angling. Don't look at my weapon. Let the camera go down to my feet as it comes in. Angle off again. And when do I angle off? At the correct distance of striking when he comes in, then I step in. Then I misalign everything, shoot past his point, his angle, and now, even if I hesitate here and he decides to sweep back, I got my hand here. I'm squeezing a marm here, a vital point. Here I can strike his arm off, kidneys, decapitate. I'm pushing forward there. I can do all this. higher you get, the more easier it'll make you look. Now my Gurudev, my master, for him it's just like batting an eyelid and you were dead. An old man of 80, 82, 83, as soon as it comes in, he just moves in here. That's it. He wants to grab here. See, I'm anticipating everything he can do, every punch, every kick, every grab, every hold, every gesture he can make. After years of training, you learn to anticipate all that. In fact, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to cut him down between his thoughts. Meaning, as he comes in, I misalign everything, step in. Before he can do anything else, he's thinking, switch here. And obviously, as you train over the years, your thinking process, your ability to process the information of how the weapon coming in and wielding at you, and then accordingly adapting to it, anukulta, and then engaging upon it, that processing information will increase and become faster and faster to the point where you're no longer consciously thinking. It just happens naturally, we call Sejavasta, spontaneously. Comes in, mentality. I'm taking everything into account. Here, look, this angle's there, that angle's there. I'm cutting his head off. There. With the Punjabi kukri, I can do a lot more better. Because this here, the grip here, is not dexterous. Like I said, in the Nepalese Gurkha style, the idea was hide behind a bush, enemy come, jump out of the bush, ambush them, strike them down, and then looking at it and jump back into the bushes. Now, with the Punjabi style kukri, my personal kukri, just because of the handle here, is specifically designed to be wielded. Much more dexterity. I can employ the little finger here to pull back, the index finger, the thumb, and I have much more agility, dexterity with this type of grip. And much more power I can blow into it. So as it comes in, watch. I can make you look now a lot easier. Okay, to the undiscerning, the ones, you may not look a difference. I mean, I was killing pretty quick with them. Well, I can tell you, you can kill quicker with these. Comes in, mentality here, mentality. I'm taking into account not only just him coming wielding, even if he's going to, he may even, if he's desperate, he may even throw the blade at me before he goes. Again, if I misalign everything, he can't strike me. If I'm not there, he can't hit me. That's the golden rule. So this here, the idea of when they say Kala Kavach, armor of death, which translates as armor of death or armor of timing. Literally, in English, you'll translate is, if you're not there, they can't hit you. That's the only armor I wear, not being there. So when it comes to strike, I'm there. I'm delaying it now. Watch. I'll deliberately miss a couple of what's called killer strikes. In other words, I'll delay his kill.